streaming. Okay, should we see if it is working? I hope so. I have no idea. Well, I think it's working. I think it's working. Okay, I'm just going to make sure, just going to test the feed to see, make sure this is actually coming through. But I just want to say hello to all of you, and I want to make sure and see if you can all actually hear me, because it's very unpredictable when I'm doing these streams through here up on YouTube. I have no idea. It might be working, it might not be, but I just want to say hello to all of you all across the world, wherever you are. Let me just see if it's actually working with the sound. It's very unpredictable. Okay, it is. It is. I just want to say hello to all of you all across the world and welcome back to another sort of live Q&A. Well, just seeing how everybody is, because I know that it's been a while it's been quite busy actually getting all the projects sorted out for the next couple of months, and I just want to say hello to all of you wherever you are. It is winter here in New Zealand, so yes, it's pretty cold right now, but not too bad where I am in the big city. But it's been really good over the last couple of months. I've been working and planning on the upcoming stories for my An Adoption Stories series, and so many of you have been tuning into my channel, and I really don't know what to say sometimes, because it is amazing to hear all your feedback and just hear all of your support. I just really, I can't believe it most of the time, because just seeing all the comments and whatnot and everything about my own journey, and there's always so many questions, of course, that are always asked when it comes to my story. And my story is always going to be forever going. There are so many unanswered questions all the time when it comes to this, and because when I'm telling these stories, I'm sitting down with other adoptees as part of my series. I really do appreciate hearing the other stories from the very beginning, and this is why I do this series. This is why I share these stories, because I think I've just repeated myself there. This is why I do what I do, because I know it's so important to raise that awareness, no matter what side of adoption you're on, the complexities of adoption, all of that. And someone said to me, someone actually commented, and I don't have all the comments in front of me, but I do realize that people have asked me, are you going to be doing this forever? Are you going to be always talking about your own story? And they obviously didn't see any of the series that I had done, and I understand their side and all of that. But being an adoptee yourself, it's going to be it's a lifelong thing. It's never going to end. And I've still got so many unanswered questions all the time when it comes to this. And for myself, it's changing all the time. It's always changing. And so it's ever since the beginning, I guess, when I was 21 and doing this whole story from the very beginning, when I was searching for my birth parents, and it was a different time of my life. Everything was different again. Anyways, that's just the thing that I just observe sometimes, and I hear all the feedback and comments, and it's good. It's good. And if you got any questions, please go ahead. I am live right now. I am live here up on the stream. This isn't a recording. This is a live. So I hope it is coming through okay, because I can't actually tell on my end. It says it's excellent, as it says, but you honestly just reach out if you've got any questions. Just bear with me. I'm just going to check one thing. Just going to check one thing right now. No. Ask away. Skip that. Oh yeah, okay. So if you've got any questions, please go ahead and put them up in the box. But I know it's a hard time. It's different time zone around the world right now. So I understand that it is like late evening for a lot of you who are watching my channel, and so no, I get that. It's just double checking. Another thing I've been doing is really just getting ready for the next stories for the end of the year. And I've been planning some really great stories, and I'm looking forward to getting these stories out there, because it's been sort of pre-production and whatnot. And I don't know what next year is going to bring. I have no idea. It's going to be, I'm aiming to do more stories for next year. I really am. And that's going to be a lot of work again. But I love it. And I love hearing, I want to talk about the others that I've been doing the stories on. And this year it's been Tracy, been Oksana, been Anna, been Daniela. Honestly, it's been incredible with the stories that I've done this year. And I know I appreciate so much of all of you watching these stories. I notice this feed is a bit dark. Just bear with me. I'm just going to boost it up in ISO. I think that's better. It's better. Thank you. Yo, I got some comments. I was about to say, it's yo, you're a legend, Alex. I'm honestly just trying to do what I can, and I know I can't please everybody. When it comes to this, the topic of adoption, it is a sensitive topic. I totally get that. But the thing is, when it comes to this, I know it's so important because prior to me searching for my birth family, I never really had that peer-to-peer support. I couldn't really reach out and watch other stories and hear other people's timelines and journeys. And this is why I do what I do. I've got my parents and I love my parents. I love them to pieces. You know, I've always had their support and they mean so much to me. And so I've always had that. And prior to me meeting my birth parents, it was talking to them. I was getting in touch with all sorts of people online and reaching out and just trying to find some answers. And that was really quite how everything sparked off. You know, that's how things kicked off. And it came down to just really connecting through to my birth mother, then my birth father. And if you know the story, of course, I connected with her first. My birth father, he didn't know about me. My birth mother was in an orphanage all throughout her life. And so that was hard. And, you know, that's all very a difficult situation for anyone. So I was getting my head around that as a 21-year-old. And that was, I still, to this day, I've still got so much more to learn about that. And so I completely understand that. It's really like, I guess, wait a minute, what is going on here? Okay, we are back. If you're just jumping onto the live stream and seeing this live stream, I do want to say hello. And please tell me wherever you are in the world, tell me what part of the world you're on, because I'd love to know where you're from. I'd love to know where you're all watching, because I know there's been a whole flux of people streaming and watching my content, and I think it's quite unreal to see what countries all around the world are watching the videos. And again, why I'm doing this is because I know that so many people, it's raising that awareness for people. I think it's so and truly important to be able to share these stories from a T, you know, from like, what I'm trying to do is really tell these stories because I want them to be told as best as they can. So I'm just going to hold on a minute. I see what's happening here. I don't know how to turn this off, but it is okay. I'm here. Something's up with this. I'm just going to turn off. Yep. Hold on, bear with me, everybody. There we go. That's better. Okay, there we go. We're back. Sorry about that. Hold fire. I'm back. I can only imagine what the potentially isolating feeling being adopted can be, even with the love and support. I'm in Colorado, USA. By the way, 8:35 p.m. I know it's hot there in the States, depending where you are, of course. I know that it's, you know, different everywhere. Hello, Adam. Hello to you in fellow New Zealand as well. Yeah, it's been a bit of a cold one. And if you're down south. If you're up north, it's not too bad. But if you're down south, yeah, it's been pretty cold. Hello to you in Colorado. I was actually doing a podcast recording this morning of a story that's coming up soon. And the guy's name is Mike. And he reached out to his birth mother years later in life, in his 50s. And she's from Colorado. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. Yes. Hey, are you comfortable to telling us how your mother is doing? My birth mother, Tatiana, is doing well, and she's got a new partner. I don't know his name, but I just do know that she has a new partner, and she's working, and she is out having the summer holiday with him at the moment. Our communication has been very bleak this year, and it's been very, not bleak, that sounds like bad, but it's been very, there hasn't been a lot. It's been very, very, very off this year, and that's okay. That's completely okay. My birth mother, Tatiana, I want her to go out and enjoy what she does in life, and that's being with friends. Friends mean a lot to her, so she's with this partner. She's living with this partner. As far as I understand, the communication I have is not directly with her. It's with a woman that looks after her when she goes and stays at her work. She actually stays at her work sometimes. There's a little unit out the back, and so she stays there. Not all the time. She's obviously in love, you know, so I want her to go and enjoy that, and she is doing She is doing good. So sparse. Oh, I'm not sure. I'm not sure on that. But yeah, my birth mother Tatiana, she knows that I'm around, and I know that she's around, and I do always say to this day, I do hope to go back and see her and just look out for her again, and just spend a weekend with her, and that's just that's her life, and I'm perfectly okay with that. I've learned so much about her life ever since the very beginning. But it's not always about. I want to talk about like all sorts of other things in this too. It's all yes, sparse communication. Sorry, sparse, not bleak. Sparse, sparse communication. It was probably the end. Honestly, it was probably I heard from her directly on a big video call that we did at the end of last year, and that was that was months ago. It was over 7-8 months ago. However, she knows that, and she always sends her wishes to her work colleague that hope I'm doing well and things like that. So she is doing well, but sitting down and having a video call with her is not something that we have done lately. But I completely understand it, and I put myself in her shoes all the time. It's a different way of life that she's got, and that's completely understandable. Yes, that communication is not always easy for me, but as long as I know that she's happy, and she definitely is, from what I understand. She's a happy woman, and she's just living her life. So every time she does talk to me, though, I'll say this: when we do a video call with the Russian that I know, she speaks for so long. She asks so many questions. She's laughing. She's asking everything about my life, and it's like a big catch up all over again. And I like that. It's good. It's a good thing. But yeah, it's not always easy. It's not always easy with that. Appreciate your work from Boston. Hello to you in Boston. That's a place I would love to go to one day. In Boston, never been to that part of the States, so that would be definitely on my radar if I can get back there and even meet some more adoptees and do some more stories. That would be great. So yeah, hello, thank you to you. Hello to you in Boston. I'm glad to hear she's doing well. Yes, she's doing well. She's doing well. As far as I understand, she's doing well. She goes out and she enjoys the summer, and seriously, she is with a lot of people. I remember this in 2018, I went over there, and even though I was a bit discouraged with what I sort of saw around me, because it was in the Dutchess, people were drinking and then all day, and I've got no judgment on that. It's their life, it's what they do, but that was pretty hard for me to see as well. But that's just the way of life, and that's completely okay. It is what it is. Hi Alex, we are in TN, USA, Tennessee maybe? I hope I got that right. Thanks for sharing adoption stories. My daughter is adopted from Russia. It has been very special seeing your journey. Hello to you, and thank you for sharing that with me. I do know there are a lot of those adopted from Russia to the USA, and also Ukraine and Romania to the USA from the 1990s during that time. So thank you so much. Yeah, a Dutchess summer is very wild. Yes, yeah, I saw that. I definitely saw a Dutchess summer. But hey, it's okay. I got to, over in 2021, I was in Russia for 6 months, and I really got to experience and see all sides of it. And right now I'm writing a sort of memoir book at the moment, just about my journey there. And always what I've learned over the last 10 plus years leading up to where I'm at now. But really, it's been an eye-opening experience for me, I guess, taking in everything as an adoptee here in New Zealand, because my life here is in New Zealand, but also my blood is back in Russia. That's my background, that's my roots. And it's just, yeah, this being in Russia for 6 months and going to the villages and going through there in summertime, it was one of the most unbelievable times of my life. It really was. It was absolutely surreal for me, just experiencing that, seeing the season change, the winter. Gosh, it was cold. I could not believe how cold it was. I think the coldest I got was about 28 Celsius, minus, not plus. Celsius 28. And that was so cold for me. I went outside. I was like, oh, okay, I'm definitely here. I'm not in New Zealand anymore. not in a warmer New Zealand. So yeah, I experienced that. And then getting through into the summertime and the mosquitoes, the season changing, all of that, that was just unbelievable. But I think the other thing that's really changed my life, I can say, is probably meeting my partner now, my now fiance. So that's the other thing that's changed my life. But yes, yeah, don't know. She would love to go and visit my birth family with me. So hopefully one day we'll do that. Hopefully one day. But we just don't know. We just don't know. Hey man, just watched a video with the two kids from Iowa, from Barnell. I'm not adopted, but what you did. Thank you. Yeah, I do understand that old show is doing the rounds. It's being spread on other YouTube channels and clips. It's the old show I did in 2019. I started doing that. In 2021 I finished that, and I know that I think it's been played all in America or something, or it's on some streaming service over there. That's not my production company. That was a company I used to work with, but that company went under a few years later, with all due respect. That's just what happens. But I'm out on my own since 2022. So that old show is actually it's actually brought in a lot of viewers onto my channel, so I don't complain about that. But that was a great experience. That show was called Reunited. If you want to look it up, it is up on Apple TV, I believe, and Amazon and Tubi. I think you got it in Tubi over there in the States. But my An Adoption Story series is what I've focused on since then, and I love it because even though there's no budget in my An Adoption Story series, I do it on my own, and I love doing it on my own, and I love meeting more adoptees, and I can see the connections, and I do that all myself, the filming, editing, everything. It was actually very hard doing that other show, but I loved the experience. But that was one of the most stressful 5-6 weeks to put that show together. But it was so rewarding, and seeing the look on their faces when they would meet families, and just doing the research. And I would talk to all the birth families prior. I would talk to them for months on end on that. And so it's just, it was just, yeah, that was amazing. In fact, I think I was talking to each and every one of those birth families for up to over a year leading up, because it was during the pandemic. So I was saying, hey, look, we're planning to go over there soon. We're coming to put everything together. And I was so excited. And so, yeah, that was me sort of making sure that everyone was okay with us documenting and putting the story together. I have no say on where that show went, and I wish I did, but I wasn't a producer or anything. So anyways, that show, I never owned any rights to that show. So, and that's okay. That's life. However, I can see the impact it's making, and as long as people are watching it and it's making things, it's changing people's, like, how do I say this? It's raising that awareness again. I was a bit younger in that, and I hope my projects, even though again there's no funding in my current stuff, but I do it on my own. I love it because I want to be making sure that everyone is comfortable with everything that I share for them. So that's so important. I actually found you a few weeks ago from the series. I binge watched literally all the videos of you. God, that's a lot of watching. My YouTube channel, I think I've got 300 plus videos now, and I just love sharing these. I love sharing what little pieces of my journey. But for someone that's come onto my channel has said to me, you got to stop talking about your journey, do something else. They obviously haven't seen my series that I have been doing. So I don't blame them. It takes a bit of research to dig through my channel, but it's kind of funny. You get some comments and you just go, oh, okay, whatever. I can't please everybody. I try to read every comment that I can, and that's the best that I can do inside that. I do what I believe is good. I always do what I believe is right, and I can never. Sometimes I just can't please everybody, but hey, I've told people I'm not. I've told people many times I'm not pro or anti adoption. I am just trying to highlight the complexities of all sides of it. So always, yes. Did you hear fiance? You did. Yeah, we got engaged at the end of last year, and yeah, we're looking forward to what's next with our lives. And she is she's an amazing person. So she follows what I do. She's she's definitely changed a lot in my life. So she came with me to Kazakhstan actually. and part of my Kazakhstan story. So you can see bits of her in there. Justine, if you're watching this, Justine, which I know she will, she watches this, she will be watching this. Like when it later on at the end of the day, she'll watch it with me. I'll hear my voice in the background. She'll put it on this. She'll put it on the TV. But yeah, she's helped me a lot. Regarding seasonal change in Russia can be elsewhere. Continental climate zones can be yes. I do. I actually love. I actually love doing these streams because I can answer your questions and it's amazing to connect with my community like this. And if you miss it out, if you have to rewatch this, I gotta do what I gotta do what I can when I am talking about these specific stories. But there are so many stories that have stood out to me in the past 10 years. Okay, now it's getting very bright. I will just bear with me. It's the sun goes up and down. This is New Zealand for you. Oh my gosh, grateful for young people like you. Thank you so much for the tip there. That's amazing. Thank you. I got to give that a heart. That really means a lot to me because I self-fund all my stuff, so little things like this just mean so much to me, and that all goes towards my series. My planning, I really want to get back to the States and do some more stories over there. I'm just waiting it out. I'm just constantly working hard, and I will get some more stories done from the States. I will plan to do that. So honestly, thank you so much for the tip there up on the stream. Thank you, Norma Salsa 1805. I apologize if I got that right, but thank you so much. Got to do what feels right, always. And there's been times where, I'll be honest, when I've done my travels and I've met other people, I have felt a little uncomfortable, and that's just me. I get uncomfortable very quickly. Sometimes I get very, I feel sometimes a little bit, I get very anxious about things. And so I think I get that from, actually my birth father is a bit like that, Misha. He gets very anxious about little things. I am just going to, the good thing is we've got some sunlight. However, the bad thing is it gets a bit bright. My birth father, Misha, he's definitely, he gets anxious and all the time, and he told me that he gets it, and so I think I get it from him. I don't know what all the genetics play on all sides. I don't know where they all sort of stem from, but there's all sorts of sides of the genetics that I carry through. But I do carry my personality of just my pleas and thank yous from my parents who raised me, because that's what they taught me. They taught me to always use my manners and show respect for people, and just do what I feel is right. Of course, I always do what I do is right because I believe that is right. I don't do it because I don't do it because I think it's bad. I do it because I'm trying to obviously trying to make a change for people. But with me saying that, when it comes to dealing with people's stories and lives and their birth parents and things, I am always so cautious on that. Always. I do know there's all sorts of stuff out there now where, they do the big reunion and there's cameras and stuff, and I'm always trying to be careful on how I approach that in my life as well when it comes to this, with all respect on all the time. It always comes down to me being open and honest and saying, hey, look, if we're going to film this, we are filming it for this. They're telling their story. They're doing their life story. They're doing a documentary story on their life. And in fact, I've given all the projects that I've done with birth families, I believe, not the old series I did because I didn't have access to that, like to give it directly. But the ones that I do with my series, I've been translating them into Russian and like Ukrainian, and we did that, and I gave it to those families for them to keep and hold on to, and they love it, the birth families, and they love it. They go, oh my gosh, this is so great for us. We got this story of we got the story of this connection with this person that lives in the States or this person that lives in New Zealand, and that means so much to us. So that's what I focus on too. Always got to try and do what you can, go do what you can. Anxiety isn't uncommon. I know that for sure. For absolutely 100%. It's definitely not uncommon. I do feel it. I do feel it sometimes, but when I'll just say this, when I go to sleep at night, I do think that I do know that I understand I'm doing everything right that I believe. So that's just me saying that. So it's really hard when you're growing an audience up on YouTube. There's people on all sides of the world. But one thing I do find amazing is the adoptees that reach out to me and say, look, hey, um, this has inspired me to go to search for answers, might not even be birth family, search for understanding where I come from, because I watched you sitting down with other adoptees. It's not about me, it's about other adoptees that they watch and inspire from. So I think that's what amazes me, just those connections. And there was a guy that came up to me, maybe this is probably a couple months ago, and he said he had Hungarian roots, and he's now done a DNA test, and he was nervous to do it in the beginning, but he watched some of the stories that I'd been sharing, and he said, oh, this is so good, because now I've been sort of inspired to take my own time with it since watching the stories. And I just think to myself, that's just amazing. That is just good. This is why this is on here. And when I was in Portugal just about 3 weeks ago, that was only about it's about a month ago now. I was in Portugal a month ago. I don't know where the time's gone. I was over there and I got to present and talk about this series, but I got to go and meet others who were adopted from other international countries, and all these other people that were adopted from Romania, Canada, Greece. I met with these people and also adopted inside the States. Absolutely incredible people, because they've all got a story to tell. And they talked with me about their story, the ups and downs, and what we can relate to as adoptees. And I just was blown away with just how much I connected with them. And I think it's amazing. I think it's just so amazing. I love hearing other people's lives, hearing their stories. That means if I could document a person's life each day for the rest of my life, I would. I'd love to do that. I don't have time, but I would love to do that. I think it's incredible, even just simply following their timeline, even scanning photos, just little things that really just amaze me when it comes to this. It's amazing. So thank you, Liz. Thank you. Anxiety is common. It's good to talk openly about it. Helps others that appreciative and to do so. Yes, thank you. It's I know it's common. I absolutely 100%, and I agree with you. I think it's good to talk about it. There have been times where I've done my travels and I've been by myself, and I go, oh gosh, I'm a bit anxious about this one. I'm going to be stuck in here. But they're little things. I know at the end of the day, I do understand that there's other things happening in the world, and I always feel for those other people going through so much. So always, when I'm when I'm stuck somewhere, what I'm saying is when I'm somewhere in the world and I'm stuck, and I've, for example, got all my gear with me and I'm worried that where I am and I feel unsafe, I get anxious, but I know that it's very quick and brief and it goes away. But yes, it does it's like boxes you in sometimes, and you're sitting there going, oh gosh, this is a bit not very comfortable. Anyways, I want to answer some questions. So please tell me a little bit about your lives. I'd love to know where all of you are from, because I've got a few people on here watching, and I just think it's amazing to connect. And I'll be on here for a little while, so please do reach out and just leave a comment below. And I want to say thank you, because I've been thinking of trying to put together some. At the moment, I am pre-production phase of the upcoming stories that's going to be going on up until the end of the year. So that's why I've been sort of quiet on the video front, because I've been working on all of that. I've been working on that, and it takes like a good couple of weeks to get a story prepared, and then all of a sudden the filming part that takes about 4 or 5 days, and the editing takes about 4 weeks. So if I'm ever quiet on my YouTube channel, it's because I'm out there filming, and I'm filming, not filming, and so I'm out there getting everything ready for the next upcoming stories. Oh, I hope I haven't lost you guys, have I? Good. No. We're still live, I think. I hope we're still live. It jumped. My computer just had a moment. We're still here, I think. We're still here. Okay. Anyways, we're back. I understand the feed is... It's a lot of video streaming through the camera. That's okay. But, yes, when it comes to this, I think a lot of people they all have different stories to tell. Always have different stories to tell. And what fascinates me is about the culture that they live in, about their lives now, and what they've learnt about their birth family, if they not birth family, not just that, but also birth culture. That's always that's so fascinating for me because I love hearing other people what do you call it? Other people learning about where they've come from, the their background, their blood, their all of that, and even doing the DNA test. But that's their choice. I know people are hesitant about doing DNA tests. Completely get that. But yes, all of that is just so. I think it's vitally important we know where we come from, and also be prepared for anything that does come along the way if you're trying to find answers. I always say this. You can never be fully prepared, but at least you can do what you can and what you know is right in your gut, to do what you can, what you feel inside. If you feel like, okay, maybe I'm being pushed to find some answers right now. Nobody's pushing anybody. You just take your own time. You can look for answers later on in life, but of course, always think about it could be also too late. If you do leave it too late, people may have passed away. It can happen. It does happen. So there's no right answered on when. That's what I'm saying. Just do when you feel like it's right. And if you never feel like it's right, then maybe that's just not meant to be. But you can learn about your culture, your bloodline. You can learn about that, and that might provide you some comfort over time in life. That's what I always say. If you are struggling with your identity and trying to figure out where there's things that you just want answers for, do understand that you're not alone, and there are so many things that you might not ever find out. I still got so many things I'm trying to find out. So many more things. So many more. Saw the streaming burp. I don't know what happened. Everything froze for a second. It went like this and then went back. But we're okay. We're back. What advice can you give adoptive parents adopting from Kyrgyz Republic, age 29? Mum speaks Russian fluently. Gosh, what sort of advice? I mean, take your time. Take your time with that. That's pretty exciting. What's your Alina? Thank you for reaching out. I do understand there's a lot of still adoptions happening and taking place. So if you're adopting, I want to be upfront about this. It's always good to try and be open and honest as soon as you can. Not about birth family necessarily, because you might not know anything yourself, and most of the times there's no information. However, teaching about the culture and the language and just getting them immersed around that, I think is so important, and also being just open and honest, because it will affect you later on in life. If you want to keep things quiet, it's your choice. I've got nothing bad to say about that, but I always think that a child should know as soon as they can if they want to learn about where they come from. And again, this is just my opinion and my point of view, so I just think it's just when you get older, a child might have questions. Of course they'll have questions. Watching from Colorado, US. Very interested in all aspects of your birth country. Yes, thank you. Hello to you in Colorado. I got to come back and visit the States. There's so many places I still have not been to. I'd love to come back and visit. So I know it's getting late for some people around the world, but this is great. This is good for me. This is cool. I'm enjoying this. What are we at now? We are at, what's our time frame here? Let me see. I cannot see the numbers. Oh yeah, 33 minutes. Here we go. That's pretty cool. I reckon I'll just keep chatting away for a little bit of answering your questions. Ask away, because this is so cool. This is so cool. Guess you have the Rocky Mountain. Yeah, well, absolutely. There's so many things. Like, also, it's really bizarre to me. I like watching videos of people building log homes, and I understand that where I've come from, right, the north of Russia, up in the Wops and out in the middle of nowhere, there's a lot of those homes, and I find them so fascinating. And I got to stay in one outside on the outskirts in Moscow 5 years ago, and so yeah, I find that so amazing. It might just be in me. It might just be in me somewhere. I don't know, but I find that so. I find that so amazing. Just little things like that. That's an interest of mine. That's such an interest. People living out in the countryside and living in villages and stuff. I love that stuff. I personally probably wouldn't live out in the village. I tried to do that when I was in Russia. I lived in a small little place for a little while, and look, I loved it. I loved the noises at night, the quietness, the peacefulness. That was amazing. But probably not permanently. But the experience of just being there for like a short amount of time is just amazing. Um, would it be helpful to bring them back? Very good question. I think it's a really good. These are some great questions. I honestly, to bring your child back to where they've come from is so important. When is it too soon or too late? I honestly do not have an answer for that. I don't want to give my advice directly on that. However, I'll just say a recommendation. I think in your I think in your 20s, I think it's vital because they'll take in a lot more in their 20s. If you're a teenager, you just want to run around and be a bit silly. And I think the development of when you're in your 20s and going back to where you've come from, I think that's a good time. That's when I'm just speaking from my experience. I went to go and meet my birth parents when I was 21. So I think that was the best time compared to if I was in my teenage years. I think it'd be very different, and not too late. I don't know, too late. I mean, if somebody's in their 40s and their parents have said, they've offered to them, hey, do you want to go back and revisit where you've come from? I don't think that's too late. It's everyone's in their own time. Everyone's in their own time, 100%. The Western US is an amazing place to visit. Diversity of landscapes and people. Montana is my favorite. I've never been to Montana. I'd love to. The Western US. I've been to gosh, where did I go to? I've been to California. I've been to Portland and Oregon. I've been that part of the States, and I've also been to the East. I've been to New York. I've been to Hawaii as well. Hawaii is very expensive, but Hawaii was yeah, amazing. Hawaii reminded me a little bit of home. It reminded me of a little bit of here. So yeah, it was expensive. It was expensive. I really don't know how people can afford to live there permanently in Hawaii. Depend what you do, of course. Beautiful place. America is beautiful. There's so many different places. So many different places. How common is it that birth parents don't want to have anything to do with the child? Is it hard on you to have to tell this? Yeah, honestly, when it comes to that side of things, that's a really good question. Birth parents don't want to have not wanting to have anything to do with the child. It's not so much not wanting to have anything to do with the child, but it's more like the birth parents are saying, now is not the right time for me to visit or to meet, or I don't want to do this right now. And with all due respect, I understand that they've been through a lot. Birth parents, of course, they have gone through so much. So I always think about their side, and I never ever put pressure on that. And if the adoptee is upset about it, what they do is, it's not so much I don't want to meet you or see you ever again. It's more like, hey, now's not the time. As I mentioned, it's normally about, hey, building that communication first. A few messages here, and there's no timeline. There's definitely no timeline. It could be like 5 years of messages. Hello, how's it going? Hi. Send a photo here and there. You've got to grow that trust. It comes with anybody. You meet somebody new, you want to build that trust. Sometimes birth parents want to build that trust first. So that's how I look at it. And so they're not. It's not common to say, hey, I don't want anything to do with this child, but what is common and what happens is, hey, yes, this is good for me. I want to take my time on it. And that's good. That's good. But yes, it's very different for everybody. Very different. Nice to see you. All the best. Hello to you, Zoea. Zoea, I can't pronounce all the names on here. I'm so sorry. You should watch Montana Haven, family business in the States that makes cabin homes. I was also adopted from Bulgaria. Love your channel. Bulgaria is a place that I would love to go to. My partner and I, my fiance, I should say, Justine, she would love to go to Bulgaria. We want to go and visit Croatia. Her great family links go back to Croatia. My dad here in New Zealand, his family links go back to Croatia as well. That's a place I'd love to go to. I'd like to go and see Bulgaria. I'd love to visit Romania. I'd love to visit Estonia, Latvia. Gosh, there's a few places I want to still see. Kazakhstan, I've been to, but like I would love to go back to Kazakhstan as well. So there's so many places. Thank you for adding so much perspective. It's been fascinating to see you and your. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching. And honestly, thank you to so many of you. I think it's amazing just seeing how small the world is when people have said they've been watching these stories. It blows my mind. It really does. So far, those I've grown up with who were adopted have not been interested in finding bio family. When I was young, I directly asked them and was surprised. Yes, a lot of people I do know as well have no interest in finding birth family, so that's not uncommon. That's not uncommon. That's what I'm looking for. So yes, I've come across that many times, but they are willing to share the story and connect with others who are adopted. So in their own time, absolutely. People have not turned around, but people have reached out later and have said, okay, I would love to find some answers. Or if it's a mother and they've had their own child, they go, okay, now I'd like to find family. Actually, in fact, it happens if a male adoptee, he has his first child, he sees the child growing up, and go, oh gosh, there's some background roots I don't know about, and that's what also triggers that as well. So that's happened a lot too. It's a very common thing that I've seen. I'm not a father yet, I'm not a dad yet, but maybe well, obviously I've tracked down my birth family, but there'll be more things on there, unanswered questions out. Be like, okay, I need to know, this child needs to know about their roots. They need to know where they've come from. So I always believe in that, and I always believe that's so vitally important, always so important. But yeah, I think it's just depends who you meet and the history of different areas and what they grow up with, what they're around. It's different everywhere you go. There's been places like, I think it was in Alabama 6 years ago actually, and a family down there, they had a whole room full of all these Russian books and Russian dolls, matrushki. They had all of them. I got some up there actually. Down there, got some Russian dolls over there. But all of that, they grew up around that, and so the child then connects later on if they want to grow up later on in life. In fact, I'll get one of these. I'll show you what I've got. This here is hand painted. This one here is actually hand painted. This was given to me, I believe, from the orphanage, and this is one of them here. They gave me this. Beautiful. It's really old. I think this would be about probably coming up 30 years old, but this is from the 90s. That's pretty clear, isn't it? I can see it on the screen now. That is one of the classic ones I've got. It doesn't open. This one doesn't open. Okay, ready for the next one. This one here. This is hand painted from Moscow. This one here is hand painted from Moscow. I got it in 2021. I got it that year. This is beautiful, this one. It's very squeaky when you open them, just FYI. The Russian dolls. See, little one in there. And let's go this one here. Hold on. Yep. See, smaller. Are you ready? Here we go. And the little tiny one in here, so tiny. There we go. Oh, it's not even focusing it. Wait. Nah, it's not doing it. Sorry, can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Hold on. The volume's a bit low. Okay, cool. I hope you can all hear me nice and clear. Sometimes the volume takes a little bit to kick in. If I need to turn this up, maybe I do need to turn it up. Hold on a second. Let me check. There is some volume a bit low there. Let me just double check this. Okay, are we good? I think we are good. We are better now. I hope we're better. Sorry about that. Gosh, that's going to be annoying. Sorry, I didn't mean to be so low. Sorry about that, everybody. Hope you didn't have to turn down your speakers too loud. But yeah, it's very squeaky, isn't it? Anyways, I got that. Also, the other thing I got, I'll just show you guys, and I'll answer some more questions in a bit. This is pretty neat. Hold on a second. I've got also this here. This is from my birth city, from Arkhangelsk. This is a beautiful, nice little box. I wouldn't say box, a circular round thing right here. If I go like this, there's nothing in it. There's just some like picture hooks, but it's like this. It's like that. That's pretty neat. I got that given to me. I think again, what I'm saying, just with what you hold on to and learn about in life, and you have these things to hold on to, and if you grow up around them, or if your family have them and show you them as children, of course, no matter where you're adopted from, even if it's domestic as well, if you've got things like photos and videos just from the area where you're from and all of that, I think it plays a big part of your identity, because you'll start asking questions as you get older. 100%. I do have some other things here, but it's like a bell and things like that, and it's not life changing, but it's cool. Yes, it's bark and wood. It's bark and wood with a mix a bit of leather there. But yeah, the bark and wood and things like that. Yeah, it's pretty cool. That is pretty cool indeed. So run the supposed house. Yes, I will do that with the squeakiness. I will fix that. Where do you start if you want to find answers? Where do you start if you want to find answers? That's a good question, and it's a question I do get asked a lot because I get a lot of messages that come through of people trying to find family, and I wish I can help every single person. I really do. But when it comes to Eastern Europe areas, I do have a blog post up on my website, up on our I'm Adopted website, where it's got a sort of guide on where you could look for a few things, just some advice. It's just advice. And so it's very different for everybody, but I've got that up to hopefully help as many people as I can. And also we've got the orphanage database of many, I think it's like 100 plus, might be coming up 200 orphanage listings up from the 1990s of orphanages that are still open or closed down, but people might want to find answers there. It's different for everybody, and not everybody can get access to all your information right away. But I hope that does help, because there's so many different stories, different pieces of information that you might have. Everyone's got different documents, all of that. There's DNA tests that people do. There's also the one thing that I do find very amazing is when there's siblings that have been split out, and they're adopted in different parts of the states, and they all end up doing a DNA test, and they go, oh, I've got a sibling that's in a state at the bottom of the country. That amazes people so much, because that is just, it's unbelievable, what's the website URL? It's imadopted.org. That's my community that I have for adoptees. So you can have a look at that and take a look at that website, because we've got a whole resource section. I've got a page on there as well where I write notes. So please go ahead and take a look. There's a lot of things on there. I'm still working on adding more resources, so I'm working hard on that when I can. But it's amazing. It's amazing to have. It's important to have. And if you want to find me as well, I am up on Instagram and things like that. I do have my Facebook page, so please, you can check out that for all updates as well. And with more stories to come too. So there's more to come for this year, and more work in the pipeline with, I'll eventually have a break by the end of the year. But what can I say? These stories are amazing to put together. And I do know they are continuing to help people. And that's the best thing that I can really just say. What resources can you recommend for finding other adoptive? For other adoptive families nearby, I don't necessarily have resources for adoptive families. However, there are other groups. I believe there's a Ukrainian Russian group with a lot of adoptive parents in there from different areas of the States. I believe that's mostly from the States. You can find that. I think it's FRUA, or it's called like that. So please take a look at that. There's just have a look up online. Look up. I think there's a lot on Facebook, but it depends on what state as well. It's all different states. So because there's communities all over the place, you'd be surprised in what you find. And just reach out nicely and say, hey, I'm an adoptive parent. I'd love to connect. I think it's beneficial and very helpful for you, because if you can do that, you can connect with other people. Totally, so important. Thank you so much. Thank you. I just want to say thank you. I am going to go now, and this has been incredible. I have to leave you all, but I want to say thank you for tuning into this, and thank you so much to the amazing person who left a tip in here. So thank you for that. It's going to go towards the series, and 100%. I say a lot, so sorry about that. I get like that when I get nervous. When I'm speaking, I don't know what to say. I'm just sitting there going, oh, what do I say? But no, thank you, all of you. There we go again. Please look after yourselves wherever you are in the world, and thank you for tuning into this. And until next time, I will have some updates very soon, but I'm going to get back into the background of filming my series, and I'm going to be doing that over the next couple of weeks. And you can become a member here on my YouTube channel, so you can become a supporter of the series. I do have that goes towards all of the work that I do and everything that I do just to help others. And honestly, thank you. I also have a Patreon as well, so it's just little things that do help. But as long as I'm able to share the stories and stream them and do all this here, I'm happy, because it means the world to me, and it's definitely changing my life. All of this, and it's amazing. So thank you. Take care wherever you are in the world, and das sedania, goodbye from New Zealand. So yeah, cool. See you all very soon. And if you're being able to jump in on this and ask me some questions, awesome. And I'm sorry if you've missed out, if you've got nighttime, and if you're asleep right now, if you're watching this or the recap, I'm very sorry that you've missed this. But I'll do some more. I'll try and do some more in the morning because I know that our morning is the best time for in the States. So, or a good evening watch doesn't hurt. But look after yourselves. I'll see you all very soon. I don't know how I close this. I'll see you all very soon. And until next time, goodbye. See you later.